What's going on, guys? Unknown Player here, and today I've got for you guys a ton of new Rise of Iron gameplay, actual first-person gameplay of what we'll get to experience when the expansion launches. We've got some weapons, we've got new locations, enemies, and also what to expect when walking around the new snowy Cosmodrome in the expansion, which of course is accessible in the Plaguelands Patrol. So I'm going to be showing you guys the highlights of the gameplay we got from the Bungie reveal, and also recap a bunch of the key info they talked about on stream. There was also a trailer with a brand new Yellowwing, which is a pre-order bonus. I made a separate detailed video on that. If you want to watch that video, that'll be linked in the description. There's a ton of stuff that got revealed today, and this video will be focusing on the brand new gameplay. So firstly, we can see this is inside the wall. This, of course, is the area where you very first start the game when you first get introduced to your ghost and you get led through the wall fighting some Fallen. We can see, of course, it's very different. The first thing that I noticed, you can instantly see the improvement in graphics and like the special effects that's going on. You can see like the snow and the fog. We can see a bunch of new armor that's being displayed on the Hunter, Titan, and Warlock. Now, one thing that I thought was pretty cool is that it seems to be some kind of like little shanks that go around, and they aren't directly interacting with you and they don't fight you, but you can of course shoot them. And these are like little splicer shanks that I guess are cutting open part of the wall and they're kind of salvaging parts of the metal. They kind of go around just randomly and start cutting stuff open and like interacting with parts of the environment. You can shoot them or you can just leave them. They're not really going to do anything, but it's pretty cool how they kind of go about doing their own thing, and they're very interactive in that sense, something we've never seen before. So next up, they decided to go through the actual wall and start going in the same direction that we headed before, but through a different route. Before we went through these kind of narrow corridors, but now they actually jump straight down into an area that's now accessible, and they seem to be fighting some of the normal Fallen down there. So when they go outside and reach the divide area, we can see our first look at the Devil Splicers as an enemy. They don't focus too much on them, but we can see them being fired at and of course being killed as well. It seems that most of their weapons do this kind of solar damage. This dark red kind of burst seems to come out of their weapons, whereas normally there's a lot of arc weapons and arc projectiles, but now it seems that most of their weapons do this kind of dark red energy being fired. I'm pretty sure it's still solar, but it does seem a lot darker than normal solar weapons. Once they go further through the divide, we can see the dead Devil Walker, which is kind of covered and buried under the snow in the middle. And that's kind of like a reflection of our actions in game, and you can see that thing has been there for a very long time, which is kind of like an honouring of the first ever bit of gameplay we saw of Destiny, where they go out and kill the Devil Walker that's right there. So pretty cool to see that's there, and of course that means there won't ever be any more Devil Walkers being dropped. It appears that instead there's going to be a Warsat that crashed, and that's kind of like an event that they ignored. They didn't really pay too much attention to it, and it kind of timed out. There's a Warsat that's going to drop there, and that appears to be the new event that's going to take place in the divide. There's a quick shot that shows off just how devastated and destroyed the wall actually is from whatever it is that actually destroyed it or cut it open, but parts of it is still glowing red hot. So you can see it's a massive piece of damage that's actually done to it. And pretty much all of this Cosmodrome is an example of just how devastated it is, not only by the winter, but also the splicers and the Sieva technology. I guess a big example of this is this kind of growth thing that's going on right here. No idea what the thing actually is, but it appears to be Sieva itself and some kind of growth with a bunch of like vines or wires or cables, whatever they are. Now, one of the designers actually talked a little bit about this Sieva outbreak and this little thing we're looking at right here. And he said that Saladin might have a secret about this thing right here, and also one that maybe single-handedly created the Golden Age. So very interesting statement right there, and very complicated in itself. I think we can all guess that Sieva was definitely something to do with the Golden Age. It was probably created during the Golden Age. It was something that got out of control, and some kind of evil scientist probably didn't know the full power of it, and it probably got out of control and now in the hands of the Devil Splicers. He was also hinting that maybe Saladin has a hand in this or knows some more information about Sieva, and maybe he is partly responsible to the outbreak. Maybe he tried to control it for power and then it got slightly out of hand, but it definitely seems like they're indicating that Saladin has some kind of involvement with Sieva. So next up, they went to spawn their Yellowwing Sparrows and actually rode around them on a little bit. And Deej, funnily enough, actually fell down this massive hole, which normally you'd die if you fall down there. But for some reason in this dev build they were playing on for the stream, they were playing on some kind of dev kit environment, and there wasn't any death barriers there which don't kill you. So Deej was kind of stuck down there for a little bit and he tried to get back up. And in the meantime, one of them went to their menus, and you can see that this character is actually 355 light level. Now, this is probably one of the most interesting parts of the stream and something a lot of people are speculating about. I am like 99% sure there is higher than this. I do not think 355 is the highest light level. Raising the level cap only 20 points would really not seem like much. And we've got 15 at light levels in the April update, so I don't think they're going to do just 20 levels in an entire massive expansion. Now, Bungie haven't said anything at all indicating what the new light level will be. My personal guess, I think it's going to be around 400. I think that's a fair number and will be a fair jump in terms of gear. I think maybe they'll raise it to 500 before Destiny 2 comes out as a nice even number. Leave a comment down below with what you think the new max level will be in this expansion. My guess is personally around 400, but it was pretty interesting to see 355 was these guys' levels. Now you can also notice a new color in the menu background. This could also be because they're playing on a dev build again, and it might not be in the final build of the game, but the new background seems to be a little bit more blue and definitely a change of color, which is interesting. So next up they go towards the rocket yard area, and something I noticed when he pulled out the ghost was there appears to be a new patrol mission with the Devil Splicers logo on it. That is the official kind of icon for the actual faction of the Devil Splicers, so some kind of patrol mission is going to be involving those. So another thing they mentioned on stream is the Hive are going to be pushed around a little bit, and you're going to see the Hive in places you've never seen them before, so I'm guessing planets and areas they've never been. And this is stemming from the question that Deej asked if the Splicers have any enemies or allies, and he didn't exactly answer the questions, but not sure whether Splicers will be fighting Fallen. I'd imagine the Splicers and the Fallen are going to be kind of allies together. I wouldn't imagine they'd be fighting the same way the Taken weren't fighting the Hive. They were kind of allied because they were the same race technically, but you did say how the Hive will be in different areas, so maybe there'll be more missions involving the Hive and seeing what they're up to, in the same way that when the Hive had all their expansions and they were becoming very powerful, the Fallen were being pushed around to like Mars, so it seems like it's going to be literally flipped around, whereas the Fallen are now the powerful ones and the Hive are trying to scavenge and find new areas for their own. So as you can see, they've gone through the route towards the Sepix Prime Strike, which leads from the Rocket Yard, once again suggesting the Sepix Prime Strike will be remade. On the way to this location, they did actually get into a new area, which previously was inaccessible. You could glitch in there if you wanted to, but it was an actual playable area. But now it seems they've opened up that doorway and closed off the other one, and this is a new kind of way you get through towards the Sepix Prime area. So of course the door towards Sepix himself was closed, because this is just patrol. In the strike, of course, the door will open up. So they did say on stream there are more areas in the Cosmodrome that are new, besides the ones we've already seen, like the Divide and the Rocket Yard. So that area that leads on from the Rocket Yard is going to be new, and of course there's going to be even more in addition to that, which we haven't seen yet, and of course we have to play it for ourselves. They don't want to show off everything, but there definitely are more locations in addition to the ones we've seen, and it seems there's going to be another one also in this place they were at right now. As they stopped the stream, one of the designers was asking if they're going to go through that, suggesting are they going to go forward in patrol, and by that I'm assuming maybe there's a pipe or something they can crawl through, or some kind of gap they can go towards a new area. There's definitely another place you can go through from here. Perhaps it's this staircase that leads towards that room, which there was nothing in there before. Maybe it leads somewhere and there's actually an opened up area up there, but it seems we're going to have to find out in the expansion itself. So that is it for the stream and just about everything we got from the Plaguelands. They did say the next stream is going to be at Gamescom, which of course in the middle of August, and there they're going to show off the Crucible, new modes and new maps and new features of course. So that is going to be a very interesting stream. We're going to get all the Crucible details we want to know, and maybe find out if there's custom games or not. So comment down below your thoughts on everything you've seen so far, your thoughts on the gameplay. Drop a like on the video if you enjoyed it. I'd massively appreciate that. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel so you don't miss out on my future videos, and I'll see you guys in the next one.